What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of Soul Food Sundays. I know I skipped out on y'all last week, but your girl needed a minute. It's always good to kind of take a pause or a time out, especially if your cup is not running over. You gotta take time to replenish yourself, and so that's what I did, and I'm glad I did because I don't know about y'all, but like the energy that I've been feeling has been so rejuvenating and replenishing, but it's been requiring some real like dedicated intentional moments of solitude, and I've been coming up with some things that I really feel like are going to change the trajectory of my life going forward, like forever. So say for instance, like in my time of just being to myself and reading, writing, journaling, and praying, meditating, devotion, and whatnot, I really come to the conclusion that I'm at a point in life where I'm just tired of rehearsing the stories of my past. Like I'm tired of talking about it, and so I really want to just be more intentional about um, taking the lesson from those things that I have just uh, been so attached to, and moving forward and just being open to new experiences and talking about what's to come or what's going on in my present, opposed to that victim mentality of who did what to me or how I didn't do something right or whatever in the past. And so if any of you are having those types of experiences, I really think it's the cosmic energy, the way the planets are aligning at this day and time, that collectively we are just having those types of experiences as we move forward. So I don't know. Any of you are having those types of experiences, feel free to comment down below, email me, whatever the case may be. And with that being said, we're going to quit talking about the past and get into the message so we can see what message spirit has for us as we move forward into a new week. So you know how we do. We're going to pray, and then we're going to see what message spirit presents to us. So Father God, Mother Earth, ancestors and spirit guides, we thank you first and foremost for each and every message that you have brought forth to us this week, each and every way that you have blessed us from sun up to sundown. God, we are grateful for your love and your light and allowing us to see another day. Dear God, as we move into another week, we ask that you continue to bless us and that you bring forth the best message for our highest good. What message do you have for us as we move into the upcoming week? Amen. So let's see here. This week we're gonna get the message from the Gateway Oracle cards, which is a deck that I don't use that often, because I have so many to choose from. I tend to skip over this one, but today is the day. So we are going to see what message comes from this deck for us as we move into a new week. I know we got a new moon coming up at the end of the week, so if there's some things you wanted to manifest, that's prime time for doing so, because that's the point where the moon energy is the moon is its clearest. It's a time of starting over, new beginnings. So you can do your manifestation work by simply writing down what it is that you're wanting to manifest, or in a journal, or through prayer, or I mean, there's so many different ways to do manifestation work. You can visualize what it is that you're wanting to bring forth. And the message that we have for this week is standing firm, rising above, and accepting what is. And that's another thing that has been really synchronistically coming forth for me this week, is lessons in acceptance. Acceptance is such an important skill. I don't think people look at acceptance as a skill, but it is. The better you get at accepting what is, the easier life becomes for you. Like, the trials and tribulations in life, a lot of what we face, the pain of it comes from trying to fight against it and not accepting it. So, yeah, we're going to dive deeper into this. This is really hitting home for me. But the first message is stand firm. I am noble, brave, and strong. And you see on the image of the card, there's a guy standing here. He's illuminated by the sun, standing on top of a mound of rocks, like a hill or whatever, and he's holding a red flag. And basically what this is saying, I already know without even reading the description, which we're getting to that too, but it's stand firm on what you believe. Make sure that you have identified and are expressing what your boundaries are with people. And if you don't know what your boundaries are, you can't express what they are. So make sure you're taking time out to think, what are my boundaries? What are my limits with people? What are those things that just, according to my values, lines that I'm not going to allow people to cross in the name of respect, dignity, and integrity for myself. So we're definitely being urged to stand firm in our boundaries. There may come a time throughout this week that you need to express your boundaries to someone. So you definitely want to give that some thought and stand firm as a noble, brave, and strong individual in your beliefs. So let's see what the book has to say about standing firm. Damn right. Let them know. Don't play with you. The card's meaning is stand up for yourself and don't back down. Stand up for those who can't protect themselves. Believe in yourself and hold firm to what you know to be true. You are a force for good. The universe wants you to know that there are times to step down and times to negotiate. But this situation doesn't pertain to those. You need to hold high the banner of truth, grace, and compassion. Honor your values without denying the values of others. And remember what is truly important in life and let go of everything else. Ask yourself, is this the time for me to stand my ground? Whom or what do I need to face with strength and fortitude? What might be blocking me from standing firm? All of these things are very important to consider as you are on the journey to living a more fulfilled and enriched life, to having a better quality of life. You want to make sure that people are respecting your boundaries. You want to make sure that you are enforcing your boundaries, because ain't no bigger waste of time than expressing this is a boundary for me, that's a boundary for me, and then you let people slip and slide all up and through them and break them and ignore what it is that you have said is a no-go for you. And also it's important to respect other people's boundaries. Are you the person that doesn't respect other people's boundaries? Has someone expressed to you, hey, this is how this is a non-negotiable for me, this is, I can't deal with this, I can't deal with that, and then you're not respecting their boundaries. So as you are reflecting throughout the week, maybe you will encounter a situation that brings up something like this for you, a lesson in respecting boundaries or setting boundaries, or even if not in your moment of reflection, you may actually have an instance where this comes up for you. So the next card is Rising Above. And that's exactly what you need to do regardless of whether they respect your boundaries or not. You have to be determined to rise above the situation and see only beauty and grace in it. Don't see an opportunity to fight and be in the midst of chaos or whatever the case. Don't choose to be sad, dwell on the past, dwell with the bottom feeders, so to speak. Rise above it. See things from a higher perspective. So the book says rising above is telling us to let go of the ordinary and step into the extraordinary. You have potential that you haven't even begun to tap into. This is the time to reach higher than ever before, so do not fall down before doubt. Remember your true calling. The universe wants you to know that just as the lotus rises up out of the mud into the light, you are rising up to even greater heights. Sometimes this occurs naturally, and sometimes it's an act of will. This is the time to rise above any situation that's not empowering. Even if there are some people you might leave behind, Let your light shine for all to see. Rise up and step into your potential. You are indeed a healer, a teacher, and a leader. Ask yourself, what do I need to do to rise above? Is there a fear that holds me back from rising above my current challenge? How would my life change if I stepped into my role as a leader, teacher, or healer? I can tell you firsthand, and I've definitely been experiencing that as you elevate spiritually, as you elevate emotionally, as you decide to emotionally release uh, the baggage of the past, it's going to require some situations where you have to draw your line in the sand and set your boundaries, and that you have to rise above and leave some things behind. When you rise above a situation, you leave some stuff on the ground or wherever your feet was planted, whatever that was, you left it there. And then when you rise above it, you're able to see it from a different perspective, because you're elevated. Not everybody wants to take that journey with you. Not everybody is prepared or meant to take their journey with you, and we have to respect that and move forward. And that's what takes me to the next card, which is accept what is, because at that point, acceptance is the best way out. Acceptance is the best thing that you can do in that situation. I'm reading this book. It's called The Cosmic. Lord, why I can't think of the name of the book? I read it every day. The Way to Cosmic Power, something like that, by Vernon Howard. And I'm going to do an episode of co-creating on it. But the gist of this book is talking about how we bring so much suffering and struggle and illness on ourselves because we do not master the art of accepting what is. And in accepting what is, sometimes that's accepting who you are. Not who you are in front of people, but who you are when you lay at night, who you are when you look in the mirror, who you aspire to be, and also who other people are. We have to accept people for who they are and what they bring to the table. Now, with acceptance, that don't mean that you have to invite it in. You have to accept it for what it is. That doesn't mean you have to entertain it. That doesn't mean you have to agree with it. But it does bring a level of understanding that says, hey, you do you. I'm gonna do me. I accept you. I accept you for who you are, but that does not fit with where I'm trying to go. So that's a part of standing firm. That's a part of rising above. A major key is acceptance. And the message of accepting what is saying, accept your life in all its configurations. Know that every moment, situation, and event has profound value, even if it doesn't seem like it. Accept your inner majesty. Be present. You are magnificent and wondrous beyond measure. Embrace all parts of yourself. The universe wants you to know it is an act of both power and faith to love, honor, and accept what is. At times, it can be challenging to truly accept what's occurring in your life. When you do so, however, you will affirm that there's a plan for your life and that everything is working for your highest good. Accepting what is doesn't mean that you can't work to change it, because you can. It does mean that there is gentle yet profound awareness that every experience can support your highest good and spiritual evolution. If there's something you just can't accept, start by gently acknowledging the fact that you can't accept it. As you increase your own acceptance in life, this will help others be at peace in their own lives. Ask yourself, is there anything that I'm not accepting in my life? How can I embrace myself and my life even more? Where will my life's journey take me if I truly honor every aspect of what is? That is so true. I know for me personally, every struggle that I've had in this life has been a matter of either God's will being done, the will of fortune, that naturally, things that just naturally occur, or my refusal to accept what is. And I still struggle with that, but I am educating myself on ways to deal with acceptance better and surrender and understand that I don't have control over everything, but what I do have control over is the skill of acceptance. For many of you, you may be familiar with the serenity prayer. If not, this message that is coming forth this week is telling me that if you are not familiar with it, please do get familiar with it. Hold on. I have a little like plaque or something in my on my altar that has it. Based off this message, we want to embody what the serenity prayer is telling us, and we want to pray to God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I can't change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And that is so important. It would save us a lot of trouble, a lot of stress, a lot of heartache, a lot of pain. So I hope that this message found you all well. I was trying to let my tea cool down a little bit before I start gulping. So yeah, I hope this message found you guys well ordered. So good. Oh, let's see what the message says. I love to do the yogi teas because they have the positive messages on them, and I take my positivity however I can get it. I'm intentionally making sure I got positive quotes around the house. As you can see on my tea, everything. So it says lift people up to their potential and higher self. I'm trying, God. I'm trying. I'm definitely trying. As you go through this week, make sure you guys are doing so as well. We all have a part to play in the grand scheme of what God is trying to do in our society. And we all are responsible for lifting people up to their potential and higher self. But in order to do so, we got to do the work of lifting ourselves up to our highest potential. And we have to be accepting of the fact that not everybody is where we are. Not everyone is in alignment with where we are. We have to keep the serenity prayer embedded in us. I need to commit it to memory because it's one thing that I always turn to in times of trouble or times of confusion or times where I am just having a hard time with accepting something for what it is. It's not easy. Acceptance is not easy. But what this message is telling us is that it's definitely worthy as we move through the gateway of hurt, pain, deception, deceit, bad habits, anything that does not serve us, into light, into a new way of living and being, into a more glorious way of living, into the new earth. So I pray that you guys have an awesome week. And until next time, peace.